Is there a connection between the size of the businesses and the speed of IT teams? Don't take best practices for this industry stories at face value. Most of the time, it's just an attempt to explain huge budgets. Developers who do not understand the meaning of their work find the only joy in excessively complex solutions. Star employees are needed when there are no processes. It's like a democracy. It's strong by procedures, not by stellar prominent figures. Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Putin, the Completarta Technology team. For medium and enterprise-sized businesses, we build IT department and develop custom software. First of all, I want to say that this video being recorded during the fighting in Ukraine. Russians and Ukrainians are dying without meaning and purpose, bringing the world closer to a new world war. Putin, take army back. I welcome everyone who, despite censorship, finds the strength to speak openly about what is happening in Russia. In this video, I would like to discuss the important thing: is there a connection between the size of the businesses and the speed of IT teams? The end of this dispute, actually, was put a long time ago in the Accelerate book, which directly states that the speed of the software development and its quality are directly proportional. I mean, the faster you can change the software, the better it is developed. Such connection is most important for decision makers of medium and large enterprises, as they agree on implementation of month or even years-long project more often. So how does software become complex? Disclaimer: I'm not going to talk about strictly engineering errors here. We identify several patterns. A large company begins to implement a large solution that takes into account the interests of many departments. Often, in the booklets of such solutions, you can see that there will be written something like the best practices of business processes of entire company, taking in account the legal context of many countries. I have two thoughts on this. First of all, product with the best practices for the industry, for very different departments, is usually too versatile for solving many problems. It has a lot of settings and a lot of functionality. Something will be used and something will never be. Ensuring the correct use of such product is a complex story that will take a lot of organizational effort from qualification departments. I'm not talking about the fact that companies in the same industry, outwardly similar, can be very differently organized inside. Don't take best practices for this industry stories at face value. Most of the time, it's just an attempt to explain huge budgets. The next one is due to the use of products by different departments. They are blurring on the focus of responsibility, since no one alone can make management decision regarding changes in IT. The product doesn't belong to any department, it belongs to the company or even to IT department. And it's a problem. As a result, the innovativeness and flexibility of the most solutions are lost. The department director is not responsible for the decision, so they do not spend organizational effort to change the centralized product. Automation becomes fraud. The processes in the computer go one way, but in fact they are executed differently. The efficiency of the department doesn't increase, but the director cannot be asked for this. He's only a passenger in this car. The reverse situation also occurs. The owner of the product has all the authority to change the project. The software is entirely his. However, the product owner himself doesn't have a clear vision of where his area of responsibility begins and where it ends. What should be primarily sourced in this system and what strictly in others. We have seen online stores that have tracked and essentially duplicated retail system for accruing bonuses. We've seen, for example, warehouse management system that have duplicated some functionality of accounting. To put it bluntly, it is almost impossible to avoid such duplication if the company doesn't have a single source in which service areas of responsibility are fixed, and it's the manager's job. The departments and processes in it have to be clear and readable before any project arises. If it isn't, it's highly probable that the business domains will be mixed. Another cause of the complexity: lack of the control over the fact that terms of the subject area and its implementation in the software uniquely match the terms of in real work. In domain-driven design, if your entire team is well synchronized using business processes, this error rarely occurs. If not, then you constantly need a translator between the IT team and the businesses. This inevitably complicates the code. The solution becomes too confusing and complicated. Ultimately, a single operation becomes complex and expensive when implemented in software, and the reverse usually doesn't happen. The final problem that I will highlight in this video is the area of managing IT teams. So, sometimes we find unexpectedly complicated constructions in the code. When we communicate with the developers, we eventually come across explanation like "I was bored, want to write some complex code." This is a problem of the HR and the qualification department, because the most important side of the good developers is to make the code as simple and as straightforward as possible, and developers who do not understand the meaning of their work find the only joy in excessively complex solutions. It is important for manager not to forget to explain to all team members that the best code is the one that it's not written, and reinforce it with controlling processes. An extra line of code requires additional support. The most elegant, simple, straightforward code cookbooks lie in extreme programming and domain-driven design approach. I will shoot a video about that sometimes soon. Today, I will only say that it is difficult for management to provide this aspect without the support of IT teams. In summary, complex and large software is rooted in weak management, which seeks in such programs an opportunity not to build processes, not to make managers' job. Proper change implementations and IT processes allow the team to achieve a stable, sustainable, and transferable result even without outstanding engineering skills. Star employees are needed when there are no processes. It's like a democracy. It's strong by procedures, not by stellar prominent figures. Bye-bye.